All right.
There's always a risk when you're playing the game of trees.
We're doing a follow-up review on this Dewalt 20 volt brushless reciprocating saw. And we did a review a while ago. I think we just put it back up. You can look at it. About the one-handed potential for this saw. And it'd be handy to have a one-handed power tool. This does have a safety button. The manual says that for one-handed use, the piece has to be clamped. And so when I put out that video, I didn't mention that. And it was brought to my attention by some industry folks that because of the manufacturer recommendation that the piece be clamped, my application of cutting branches off of a tree wasn't actually authorized. So here I've got a branch that's separated from the tree, and I'm going to put it in this vise, which officially makes it clamped. Let me put it down here and see if it'll grab. I'm not big enough to grab it that way. So let's just put it in the vise. So it is clamped. We'll squeeze it nice and tight. All right, it's held tightly there. Now let's make the cut. All right. That felt, I've operated this quite a bit in a tree, that felt a lot like a tree branch that's attached to a tree. Let's try it again, just to make sure we're not fooling ourselves. Okay, we took a branch, separated from a tree, and we clamped it. It feels like a branch attached to a tree, but it's in the clamp, as the owner or the manufacturer's directions say. And I assume that if they're authorizing one-handed use, that your other hand is being used to support the piece being cut off, which would be similar to cutting a branch off a tree. We would grab the branch and cut it off the tree, and then be able to throw the branch. And the beauty of that is if the branch cannot drop to the point below because there's some obstruction down there, a house, a garage, the lift, other things that might be in the way. And so it's handy to be able to hold that. And in the lift, oftentimes you're reaching over and you don't have room to make that long hand stroke with your handsaw. And so having this short stroke saw is kind of handy to be able to make that cut and toss that somewhere. And so this is, putting it in the vise like the manufacturer's directions call for. But not to be presumptuous, but it may be that the manufacturer did not presume that someone might want to use this to cut branches off of a tree. But we have this handy dandy razor tooth saw from Lee Valley that is an arborist grade saw head that fits in these reciprocating saws. And it cuts very efficiently. And let's go outside and do this little test on a tree on a branch that's attached to a tree and see. Let's do it one more time here. Let's get a good view of this and see if it's similar to cutting this off in a vise. All right, let's go take a look. So here we are, outside, cleared a little area here. We got a branch attached to a tree. It's acting a lot like the branch that was in the shop, in the vise. There we go. Let's try another one. You know, I think a branch attached to a tree, oh, let's get the view, is the same as a branch held in a vise. It just may be that the manufacturer didn't think of this application when it was writing the owner's manual. So my intent is to write into the manufacturer and show them this video and this application and see if we can actually get it in the manual that cutting a branch off of a tree with one hand on the saw is an acceptable application, equivalent to cutting a piece that's held in a vise. And so if you think that's true, give us some comments, because multiple comments from the industry would be helpful. I've found that this is a useful tool in the lift. When I have it in the lift with me, it's something that I reach for often enough, because there's oftentimes you're reaching over the basket of the lift and you don't have that enough space to make that long arm motion with your handsaw. And this is just a handy thing on the smaller branches to get them out of your way, and it's handy. And so it's a useful tool in the field, and we just need the manufacturer to give us the rule in the ANSI for an employer to override a manufacturer's instructions is that the activity being authorized is safer than an alternative. Now, compared to a hand saw and this, is it safer? I can't say that it's safer, but I can say that the activity of cutting a branch off a tree is exactly the same pragmatically as cutting a piece held in a vise. And so for the benefit of all the melancholy personalities out there that like to follow the letter of the law, it'd be great if the manufacturer would allow this application in their manual. And so give us a comment, and if you like our channel, and please subscribe, because subscribers are everything in YouTube, aren't they? So thanks for watching. Take care.
Summer heat and tundra cold and throwing a storm of three. Stakes are high, there's always a risk when you're playing the game of trees.